Hi guys, welcome to the James Bond Show. I'm your host, Krazy Kajeevie, back for another episode of the James Bond Show. And I have got a good one for you, a hot topic. Okay, so guys, I've been telling you all along here at the James Bond Show that Barbara Brocolli is a feminist. And that No Time to Die would be a feminist, woke fiesta of left-wing snowflake craziness. And in the comments section below, in many of the videos I've done on this subject, I've been told, oh no, crazy, you're wrong. Wait till the film comes out. I'm not judging the film until it comes out. Blah, blah, blah. I've told you all that these people, these woke people that are elites, global elites, that they have an agenda. So people watching this video, you can dislike it with a thumbs down all you want. But anyone to deny that I'm a true James Bond fan, or the people supporting my channel and supporting this message, you can't deny that we are diehard James Bond fans. Now, recently, I've had some criticism, what's new, that, oh, crazy, you need to be more positive about the future of the James Bond films, specifically No Time to Die. Well, here's the thing. I don't need to be positive about the James Bond films. You know why? Because I'm a realist and I love this character and what Ian Fleming and what Albert R. Cubby Broccoli and Harry Saltzman, what they originally put up on the screen. I love it so much that I'm not going to be fake and pretend that this film franchise isn't in trouble, because it is. And what I'm about to read to you is an article from Movie News. And this article is all the evidence of everything I have been saying, and it's coming straight from the horse's mouth. No, not Phoebe Waller-Bridge, but this time, that wasn't a Yoda impression, that was my version of a horsey. This time, Cary Fukunaga, and wait till you hear what he says, and everything here is exact quotes. Now, I haven't got the entire article here because it's just too long-winded, because this is an interview between a lady who's also a filmmaker named Miranda July and her very good friend Cary Fukunaga. So because they crap on so much, I've skipped to the blunt stuff of it, and it's at least 3 pages already. So let's get right into this. Then you guys, and even the people that have been, no, crazy, you're wrong. Let's see if you guys are willing to go crazy. I was wrong, you were right, and yes, your fears have been confirmed. So let's look at this. Okay, so Miranda July interview. So Miranda says, were you, so she's interviewing Cary Fukunaga, were you into James Bond before this? Now already, very soon here, there are going to be alarm bells ringing. Now, I just want to actually preempt this, guys, and tell you a reminder that Cary Fukunaga has come out time and time again saying he's a big James Bond fan, that he's seen all the James Bond films. This is what he has said previously, that he's seen all the Bond films, he was a big fan of them as a kid growing up, and that he chased this film because he always wanted to direct a Bond film. Well, let's have a look at what he says after the film has been locked off. Quite a different story. So, were you into James Bond before this, before getting the job? Cary Fukunaga says, yeah, I don't think I'd seen every single James Bond film. Did you hear that, guys? I don't think I've seen every James Bond film, but I was pretty well versed in it. I don't think I became a fan of the franchise until Casino Royale. Prior to that, my only in-depth James Bond experience was at my cousin's house playing GoldenEye. That is what Kerry Fukunaga says. His only in-depth experience was over at his cousin's house playing GoldenEye. To which the interviewer, Miranda July, says, "A James Bond video game? Question mark. To a purist, that doesn't sound as though someone who's never seen a James Bond movie. I'm going to take the stance of being a purist." So Fukunaga says to that, "You're already a gatekeeper of a film you've never seen." So a little bit of a byplay between those two there. So let's have a look how this interesting interview goes along. Miranda says this: "So Phoebe Waller-Bridge worked on the script. Were they," so she's talking about the producers here, "were they like, make this more feminist and better?" Fukunaga says to that, "Those words, I can guarantee you, were never said." Miranda says, "Really? Question mark. Kerry says, "Well, first of all, Barbara Broccoli, one of the main producers, is either the first or second most successful female producer in the world. Feminism is something she has slowly been turning up the dial on for decades." So she says, let's look again at this. Fukunaga says about Barbara Broccoli here that feminism is something she's been slowly turning up the dial on for decades. Slowly turning up the dial up for decades. I'm trying to get these words out here, guys. So she's been dialing up, spinning up, belting out the feminist movement for decades, according to Kerry Fukunaga, the director of No Time to Die. So she's been turning up the dial for decades. The inclusion of a new female 00 agent had come from her, from Barbara. I only found out from working with her that she had wanted to do a spin-off of Jinx, which is Halle Berry's character in Die Another Day. The female characters in the film, who they are and what they stand for, was definitely something Barbara had in her mind. And Phoebe, who is a brilliant writer, regardless of her gender, but is writing really fun and more fleshed out female characters than anyone else right now. Now let's have a look at this, guys. Let's go back and have a careful look at the wording here of Fukunaga. Again, this is all about pushing a female feminist agenda. Now I want to go on the record here and say I am all for a female 00 agent. No problem with it. And I love strong female characters. So for people that say I'm sexist, or my supporters here are sexist, or James Bond fans are sexist, we're not sexist at all. We love great female characters. Ellen Ripley in Alien, Sarah Connor in Terminator. Two of the best, not only female characters, but two of the best characters ever put to film. And Princess Leia. Even the guys love Princess Leia in more ways than one. From Star Wars. She's a great character. She's strong. She's tough. But she also isn't completely man-hating. And these characters were founded on tough female instincts, but also caring and nurturing, and they also loved males. Sure, sometimes the males were the enemies in the film that those female characters had to fight against, but it wasn't fighting against male characters for the fact they were male. It was fighting against male characters because they were bad characters. They were bad men, not men who were, just men. So, not for the sake of being men. So let's continue on here. So we'll get back to the Phoebe Waller-Bridge section. And Phoebe, who was a brilliant writer, regardless of her gender, and see how he has to push that. He doesn't need to bring that up, but this is their agenda. All Cary Fukunaga had to say here, and Phoebe, who is a brilliant writer. That's all he needed to say. But he has to push, regardless of her gender, but is writing really fun and more fleshed out female characters than anyone else right now. Brought a lot of ideas about how to make the characters we already had that much more interesting. Well, I tell you what, when I see Larry Lunchbox Lynch in a plane with James Bond in the trailer of No Time to Die, and Bond says to her, have you flown one of these before? Or do you know how to fly this? Well, no, actually the line was, have you flown one of these before? And she says, nope. But it's the way she says it. She says it. Now, this is a good way into the film. When that scene comes on, this is probably towards the end of the film when they're infiltrating Rami Malek's base. There's no doubt about that. And Lynch's character, Nomi, has such attitude towards Bond. It's nope. And then, of course, when she meets Bond in Jamaica and she goes back to his room as though, oh yeah, he's really hot for this man-looking thing, she turns around and puts him down and basically warns him not to get in her way or she's gonna shoot him in his knee. The one that works. Again, it's all about man-hating. Now, do we see Daniel Craig's character, do we see his Bond putting her down because she's a female? We don't. And this is the agenda and the complete crap that Barbara Broccoli is pushing. Now, Fukunaga has said here that all this is Barbara Broccoli pushing it. And of course, Phoebe Waller-Bridge comes on and she's just the axe wielder. Barbara Broccoli's the judge that's given the death penalty to bad male Bond, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge is just the hired executioner through her writing. But the Emperor, the one behind the scenes with the lightning bolts coming from her, that is definitely Barbara Broccoli. So let's have a bit more of a look-see here, guys. Okay, so also, what I wanted to share here is that Cary said he had an idea. Now, this is quite alarming. Cary Fukunaga said that he had an idea for No Time to Die. Now, a lot of the people that don't like Spectre will find this interesting. There was a rumor going around that, and even this is mentioned in the article, that parts of Spectre could have been a dream sequence, and this is almost the way of the filmmakers for No Time to Die, particularly Cary Fukunaga, to retcon Spectre, retcon the brothers thing, retcon everything in England, and even the capture of Blofeld. From the point where James Bond gets the drill in his head, Cary Fukunaga in this interview said that one of his original ideas was that when the drill goes into the head, basically it causes amnesia in Bond, affects him, and that at the start of No Time to Die, Fukunaga had an idea to have Bond captured by Blofeld. He and Madeline are still captured by Blofeld in the African base. So, guys, make of that what you will. And that shows to me that that director, and probably potentially the producers, because that's depending on, maybe depending on a conversation he had with them, didn't really support what happened in Spectre and the whole idea. And that just tells us that he obviously didn't like that plot device of Spectre, like really none of us did, especially drilling in the head. Bond should have been dead, and the way he escapes and all that just didn't make sense. And I commented on that in my Spectre review. If you haven't caught my Spectre review, check it out. Well, guys, that's what I got for you. Now, I would love to know what you guys think. Do you agree now that there is a feminist agenda from Barbara Broccoli? Don't forget, in 1995, she brought you the first female M, telling Bond that he was a chauvinist, sexist dinosaur. Then in Tomorrow Never Dies, we had Wei Lin, okay, who constantly, it's one of my least favourite female characters in all the Bond franchise, because she constantly put Bond down. And through her dialogue, she was constantly implying that James Bond wanted her and wanted to grope her and wanted to make moves on her, even though she had, in the words of Tiger Tanaka, a face like a pig. But that, again, would have been Broccoli behind that. Then in The World Is Not Enough, we have Electra King, who was, the super empowerment of female confidence, dependability, and taking over and killing off her father and taking over his pipeline business. So it seems to be that Barbara Broccoli has a real wear the pants agenda here and make sure that James Bond is cuckolded into being basically dickless. So excuse the, being crass there, but that's what she's doing with this guy, and making Bond just be like he's a sexist pig. Guys, let me know in the comments below what you think. And for anyone new to the channel, or people that are watching the channel and still haven't subscribed, if you like the content here, please drop a like, subscribe, and come back to the James Bond Show with the real news, the real facts, and not a left-wing snowflake agenda. We love Ian Fleming's Bond, who's tough, and if he needs to slap Dinky Dinky on the butt or slap a woman around or whatever, which I don't agree with in everyday treatment, but remember, he's a spy, and that's what Fleming created. If you guys love that, comment below, like, subscribe, and all that crazy Kajeevie stuff. And until next time, guys, keep on bonding and say hi to your mum for me.